Let brightness intelligence do its work. Now better. Writing code gets your eyes tired? Try coding mode.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the final day of AMX Global Season 2. My name is Reed and I'm here today to bring you the final day competition from Season 2. My goodness, it's just been quite a while. Time flies when you're having fun. Also when you're really fast racing. And we do have quite a few very fast racers to bring to you today. Some amazing tracks, cars, combos, all that and more coming your way. We're going to be starting things off with Renault Clio Cup action on Brands Hatch Circuit. You can see the settings there. Relatively hot, especially when the pavement can be double the outside temperature. Reasonably low humidity, depending on who you ask. Somebody from Texas, where low humidity is about 1, it's quite up there. Partially cloudy with slight winds out of the northwest? Question mark, I don't know. It's out there, but it's not incredibly windy. I really want to do one race where we jack the wind settings up to 100 miles an hour and see what it's like racing in a hurricane, but I'll submit that request a little bit later on. Either way, here we are. This is a look at what the final settings are for AMX season. We're going to be carrying things over a little bit into our next season, so it's not going to change drastically, but here's the way that this season was run. Basically, 2 tiers of competition, AMX 0 and AMX 5. $142 for AMX 0, the total prize pool there, and $437 for AMX 5. So a lot of money on the line. It happens every weekday, 7:40 p.m. EDT, Eastern Time Zone of the United States of America. Depending on where you are, it might be a little bit different. I think it's late at night in Europe, way early in the morning over here in Asia, and if you're somewhere in between, figure out what time it is for you. And it's the same time every single day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, the days might be a little bit different depending on where you are once again. One of the biggest changes we made this season to AMX Season 2 is the reverse grid placements. That means that if you place first in the qualifying section, then when we get to the real race, you're in the back of the pack, and it's made to sort of mix things up a little bit and give some of the slower drivers a little bit of a chance to start things off in the beginning. It also makes the race a little bit more exciting because there's more overtaking, more chances for some cool action to happen. And there's prize money for both the race and for the qualifiers, so just keep that in mind. It's not just one prize pool. We're giving you prizes for your placements in the race and in the qualifiers. And those payouts are even faster and easier than ever before. That means that anytime you get $100 in prize winning, you can cash that out once a week, or once a month. Sorry, I was momentarily distracted. Yikes. This season, we're driver cams, really leveling up the production value, but also getting a chance to see what you do, that other guy. The racers are looking like really cool moments of maybe frustration, of excitement, of overwhelming passion, put it that way. A lot of things out there, and we love to see your face when you race. Means you should open up your camera, turn on your Zoom call, and join us just like our man on your screen right now. You can see, I guess this is practice session going on currently. And also, if you're joining an AMX 5, it is mandatory to have your camera on. So make sure to get that on when you come out to race. The track today is Brands Hatch Circuit. This is a UK racetrack. It's mostly used for MotoGP in the past, but it's I think come up quite a bit in recent years. The biggest part to know about this track is that it is not just as straight as it looks looking down on it. This is the overhead view for the track, but it is anything but 2D. Very, very hilly, and so you're going to have to really compensate quite a bit for that as you race around it. The cars we will be racing out here are Clio Cup cars. So for the Clio Cups, these are made by Renault. I believe the current version of the Clio Cup cars are the Renault Clio RSV. Of the HR13 engine in them. I don't think that this is the version of the car that is in iRacing, but I could be mistaken. I do not know. But it is also a very accessible entry-level race car. It is one make race car. It's the same make for everybody racing in this series, and it's kind of cool because it's a different form factor than karting. It's a different form factor than rally sport. It's a little bit in between because it is quite a small car and it doesn't have, it's not Formula One out, but it makes for very, very exciting racing. And we do have 10 racers a double digit. Card for you today: Caio Gaspar, Fabio Zamperlini, Victor Miranda, Jackson Resenge, Gaston Calavi, Marcelo Reales, Santi, Nico Godoy, Josh Perrine, and Diego Villarreal. All coming out here. This is a look at the way that the practice results were. Not incredibly indicative of their overall performance, but you can see that it's taking some time to learn the track. And obviously this is a track that all of our drivers have extensive experience on, so it's not like we're throwing them a curveball at the end of the season. Especially considering that our final track of the day is Spa-Francorchamps, so it's going to be a very, very iconic track most people are familiar with. We are a minute into qualifying, and given that the Brands Hatch Circuit track is not the longest track out there, we shouldn't see times that are going to be too extensive. If I'm not mistaken, Brands Hatch is about 2 kilometers long, which makes it about 1.5 miles, 1.2 miles, somewhere in between there. I think it's like 1.2 miles. But the really cool thing about this track is that we're going to get a chance to go around it quite a few times. If I'm not mistaken, the average time around here for Clio Cup cars is about 1 minute 10 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see what times our racers are setting. I could be mistaken. I'm actually checking the stats, the numbers, as we check them right now. Okay, looks like it's like 120. So let's keep an eye on that. This is the standings for our drivers today. You can see Caio Vinicius Gaspar up at almost $1,800. Absolutely incredible. You can see his win rate is only 25%. But he's still coming out here. 75 races attended. Maybe a little bit of an overinflated number, but the money is definitely not. That's a lot of money. Gaston Presta Calavi down $100 below that. Fabio Zamperlini very, very close on his heels. Resenge, Gael Valero, a monster. We don't see him race today, but 69% win rate. Nice. Either way, those guys are some of our most consistent racers and the biggest, attractions to watch whenever you come out to see AMX Season 2 racing. They're just so good. And you can see that they're not only good at showing up to our races, they're very good at placing quite highly. Keep in mind, that's not the standings for how they race. That's just the standings for their overall winnings. So, not an indication of how good they are, just an indication of how averagely good they are, if you want to look at it that way. Victor Miranda got some purple on his sectors down there. He might be just setting a pretty good time here. It's looking like I said, about 120, 130, somewhere in between there. I know it's quite a big margin, but he is coming through the line, so let's see what that looks like as he completes that final sector coming in through. Victor Miranda on your screen right now. I can see the Logitech G logo. I'm gonna have to update my... Okay, that was actually not the entire track here. Let me see what we're working with. 139 for Victor Miranda, who has set himself up a very, very fast time. This is why you should never trust whether or not I know my sectors. I actually thought it ended in 5 sectors, but it's a 6-sector track. So excellent. Now I know. Learning experience. Yeah, Victor Miranda up there at the top, 139. 5/10 back is Jackson Resenje. Marcelo Real is setting a 140. Diego Villarreal right on his heels. Slavi Santi coming in next with another 140.9. And we've got about half the pack yet to set their lap out there. So, yeah, this is why you should not listen to me when I talk about specific characteristics of tracks. What you're not going to notice is that later on, I'll actually quote these exact times authoritatively, as if I was aware of them the whole time, and you're not even going to know. Josh Perween coming out in his Tanuki to help us out today, teach us how to play, how to race this track. We'll see how he's able to do. Keep in mind, this is the guy that placed first, not only recently, as recently as a couple days ago, but has also had one of our only double winners on the day, win one race and then the next race in first place. Very, very skilled driver. Southeast Asia, he has had a lot of success. We've got some driver to watch info about him a little bit later on. Taking that corner a little bit wide on the number 10. We'll see what he can place, if he can improve his time here, as he is one of our most accomplished drivers in AMX Season 2. You can see sitting up at 7.1K. And then, wow, a huge improvement by Fabio Zamperlini, up to 139, good enough for pole position. Even though Caio Gaspar is setting new times out there, it is still very, very close, competitive, up at the top. 0.03, the difference between Caio Gaspar and Fabio Zamperlini. There you can see on your screen Gaston Calavi. This guy is sitting currently number 2 in the global standings as far as prize money goes. So his performances have been very, very good. Sitting number 1. There it is. Pole position, provisional pole, up there at the top. Not improving that lap, but we're going to see a few more laps come through. We have Caio Gaspar come through with a lap that was good enough for a podium spot, but not going to be content with that. He's still out there trying to compete another one, although it doesn't look like he's improving too much. There's a purple sector, so purple means improving, yellow means slower, and I believe green means go. I don't know about the color coding here. I think yellow is slow and purple is faster. So, just, yeah, I gotta improve my color coordination there. On board now with Caio Gaspar as he continues to set some very, very fast times. He's on a 135 coming through into the final stretch. Does not look like that is going to be a faster time. Although, wait, don't ever listen to me. I saw the 140 down there on the clock. But it was actually 139.0. Good enough for provisional pole position. Heads back to the pits. Going to come back out fresh. And wow. I actually thought that was going to be a 140 and put him, down in well, I guess keep him in third place. Now, Calavi, Zamperlini, they have to improve. They're coming out of pit lane. And a lot of our drivers are starting to do this, where during our heat, or not the heat, during our qualifiers, they'll go out, they'll set a really good lap, then they'll pit. Then they'll come out, set a really good lap, and then pit. And then keep going back and forth, just to make sure that you can set the best time possible. On board with Victor Miranda, a little bit of gardening there as he heads off into the grass, taking that corner a little bit wide. But just look at these angles. You can see how big these dips are as you go through Brands Hatch. And indeed, several of the turns are named after the dips. There's like Pilgrim's Rise into Druids, a very iconic corner there. We have Westfield Bend that dips quite a bit. And then the Brabham Strait, I believe, also goes quite a bit up. But I'll keep an eye on that as we get our little mini map up here to follow along with our racers. I'm not totally familiar enough with Brands Hatch to follow along just by sight. My braking markers are not very well established yet. So, forgive me for that. Thankfully enough, I only have to know when to break my voice. And even if you wish that was a lot more often, we each have our jobs here. So let's make sure to keep that in mind. So for Kyle Gaspar, he is still undisputed. Up at the top, on board now with Laui Santi. Now, Laui Santi is an interesting guy because we've seen him come out here and set not the fastest race times. That's my diplomatic way of saying it. And yet, because of our reverse placements, he actually places first on the grid quite a bit for our race time. Now, once he's in first position on the grid, he hits that pole and he stays there. So you're thinking, okay, well, he's slower in practice, he's slower in qualifiers, but he stays in pole for a long time during the race. So, I'm not sure exactly how that matches up, but one of the most dynamic faces of AMX Season 2, Nico Godoy. This guy is a little bit of a menace, not only for his liveries or hairstyle or head covering choices. Today he's forsaken all of that. We've got normal, everyday dad/business worker Nico Godoy with what my friends would consider to be a very fashionable car. By that, I mean it is one color and completely soulless, whereas I would say that I much more closely identify with things like Godoy's, with like the pizza livery we've seen, Godoy, second only to maybe guys like Zamperlini for their creative and colorful liveries they bring to the cars out here. So, gonna see what he has to say here. Still on an out lap, so he hasn't really put up a time just yet. And it can be a little bit challenging to get those times correct if you struggle with staying inside the lines. Regardless, he'll be out there. 5 more minutes left. We do have 15-minute qualifiers. See what Zamperlini's working on. He does have only one sector that he improved on, so it doesn't look like that's going to be a top time. See what he can set. Kyle Gaspar also coming. Oh, excuse me. Wow, it actually is good enough for a top 2. Yeah, okay. See what Jackson Resenge has to say. He is still maybe a little bit lower than you're used to seeing him place, 7,000ths below Reales. So, plenty to watch there. Calavi, we saw him in pole position for about 5 nanoseconds before Kyle Gaspar took him out. He's still coming back, the number 8, looking to reclaim that top spot. Although currently it does not look like he is moving any faster. Right as I say that, a green pops up. So. I'm just caster cursing everything out here. So it's Gaspar, Zamperlini, Calavi, Miranda, Reales, your top 5 coming in through, and Nico Godoy still looking to set a time coming up. So, hopefully, right? He's got 2 more minutes, 3 more minutes left to set a time. It is group qualifiers, which means that everybody's out there on the track trying to qualify all at the same time, and that if you start your lap before the session ends, if you start it before the time expires, then you still get a chance to head around and finish it, which can take a while, but, Okay, let's see. Gaspar, Zamperlini, Calavi, your top 3. Calavi not able to make up any time. I mean, honestly, when you look at your time and it's 3,000ths, you got to keep going for it, right? There's still so much opportunity left to have. Josh Perween puts in another time, but does not appear as if it is good enough to raise himself in the standings. Let's see, once it gets posted up there, looks like it's, not faster than 48 seconds back of Diego Villarreal. Jackson Resenge, there on your screen right now, sitting in 6th. And you can see he's probably not happy. Yeah, a little shake of the head. Not super happy with his laps. Obviously, 7,000ths back is a little bit irritating. It's like, okay, come on. A small tailwind would have pushed you across the lap faster. He's going to come in with another lap right now. Let's see what that posts him at. Okay, good enough for climbing up. And that's what I was talking about. Like, just a little bit more. Pushes him up into the top 5. And actually, with top 5, that means your position is basically the same in qualifiers as it is in the normal race. When we swap the tables on top 10 racers, it's not really going to make a huge difference. Just pushes you to the side on the starting grid. Anybody else to watch here? Let's see, Marcelo Reales might be climbing up a little bit, currently sitting in 6th. He might be able to overtake Jackson Resenge. Let's see what he's able to post up as he finishes another time. About to pop up 139.4, so yeah, not an improvement, and that's going to keep him in 6th. See if he goes for another lap around here. Let's see what Josh Perween is working at. Currently sitting at a 138.9, coming through on 35. It's just a few seconds as he crosses. This might be good enough. I don't know. Let's see. We're on board watching him. He completes that sector and not good enough. 144, 140.4. So kind of interesting to see the different strengths and weaknesses of our drivers, right? So you have some drivers that are very good on ovals, some that are better on short tracks, long tracks. Some obviously there's a lot of familiarity issues, right? If you have an I rating, right, that's your total cumulative I rating amongst all cars and tracks. And so when you come out here with a different car, different track, it can be a little bit strenuous to kind of put together that new combo and figure out how to navigate things. So for Lawi Santi, let's see what he's able to put through here. Currently not able to improve on that 9th place spot. You might not feel too good about that, but it is good enough to place him in the top 2. But how? Because we do have reverse grid settings. So the last shall be first, and that's why he's way up there. This is a look at the qualifying results before we flip the grid. Kyle Gaspar, Fabio Zamperlini, Jackson Calavi, Victor Miranda, Jackson Resenge. And that's the way it looks. If I'm not mistaken, that means that we are giving away... Okay, this is an AMX 0 race. And that means that not quite as high a prize pool as we have for our next races. Currently, if I'm not mistaken, the AMX 0 qualifiers give you $10 for first place, 9876542, all the way down to 1. And so for the most of our drivers, that's going to be $10 for first, 987. That's the idea. And we give away the same amount of prize money to the AMX 0 race, which is coming up next. And we're on the grid, popping up on the grid our cars for today. Got 10 of them. Lawi Santi and Nico Godoy in 2 and 1. Pole position there for Nico Godoy. Let's keep an eye on this. Now, there's a couple of things to watch out for as we get ready to start this race. And eventually we'll have the little Mario Kart lights pop up for getting this started. But for all intents and purposes, it's about to happen right about now. Okay, I jumped the gun a little bit. I don't have the... Okay, there it is. Green flag. Okay, burning some rubber up in front, and there we go. We're off. Let's take a look at the overtaking, see who wants to change their stars immediately. The first turn is the deadliest, and you almost always see some mistakes being made. Our little Beetlebug Clio Cup cars coming around the corner, and all's good. A little bit of a burnout. The brakes locked up a little bit. 2 of our drivers can't find the turn button on their steering wheel. And so that means that they're out. Oh, a little bit of a side swipe, but still on the track for the most part. Some jostling for position. Racers in the back rejoining track. Always nice to see that they are still in the race. Lawi Santi and Jackson Calavi are a little bit further back there, getting their race back together. Nico Godoy still maintaining that pole position. But the big winner for me is Josh Perween, who climbs his way up into 2nd place. Pretty good there. If we can keep an eye on, there we go, the overall changes. Diego Villarreal, I think, struggled during that first or second corner. But now, might be stabilizing, although he is continuing to fall further and further behind. Zamperlini climbing, and this is what you're going to watch out for. Watch out for Zamperlini. Watch out for Diego Villarreal. Watch out for Kyle Gaspar. These are the guys that are really, you're almost always expecting to see them in the top 3-4 racers out there. But currently, the most impressive part for me, Nico Godoy still in that pole position. really incredible for a guy that I would say usually qualifies towards the bottom of the pack in qualifiers. He's gotten that pole position thanks to our reverse grid, and he's keeping it. So really, really good job there up at the top. Josh Perwian climbing to second. But obviously our biggest climbers, Caio Gaspar, Zamperlini, and Victor Miranda. These are the guys you're going to watch. By far the highest win rate players in AMX that are represented here. And they're continuing to climb. You're seeing some five positions climbed all the way up there. And unfortunately, something happened to Nico Godoy. A guy used to be in first and now, unfortunately, taken out and is in the back of the pack at 8. So, too bad, so sad. Let's see what happened. We'll get a look at that maybe eventually. But now Josh Perwian, tasked with the pole position. Coming around the outside, he might not be able to keep it for very long. Victor Miranda in the green and blue and yellow. Very Brazilian car colors there. See what you did there. Coming around the outside and he takes it. Will he be able to hold on? Trying to get back on the inside of that line, and he does. Curving over, he maintains that lead, but just for a little tiny bit. Now let's not see too much weaving here. I'm not sure what that was. A little bit wiggly. Josh Perwian might try to overtake him here just a little bit. It is actually very, very close. Although following a similar line, getting that draft action on, you might not see it for a little bit. Perwian, it says he's 0.5 behind. That does not look 0.5 to me. Oh, there it is. Okay, never mind. Actually, mistook the liveries there for a second. We're on board with Perwian, but actually, Resenge passing him up. Comes around the outside also, and that is another advancement. Victor Miranda up 6 placements to way up there in the front. Jackson Resenge and Zamperlini, you have what word am I trying to say? Sorry, I'm having a little bit of aphasia for a second. There's Zamperlini. You can see the focus in his eyes. The focus in his eyes. The expression on his mouth. He gets, I don't know if that was him getting sideswiped. Kit couldn't quite keep an eye on that livery. But they're way back in the back is Laui Santi, but the pack getting a little bit too close for comfort. In the middle, Reales, you're watching him right here. He is trying to keep it together, but Diego Villarreal passing him up and taking the lead of that rear pack. You can see Zamperlini doing all that he can to keep it close. He wants to get the pass on Resenge, but he is very, very unable to get around there, just deciding to keep the line. You can see the little bit of a smile on his face. He knows this is going to be a little bit of a battle. And when I say a little bit, I mean a lot, because obviously Jackson Resenge is the guy that I believe is standing number 2 in our total overall prize pool leaderboard. So very, very skilled racer. Now Zamperlini, he's undergone a little bit of a character change over the course of this season. Traditionally, he would be in that 3rd position, and he would just make the number 1, number 2 racers battle it out. Get them to expend all of their energy battling each other, and then if they wrecked, if they had some slowdowns just because they were battling so hard, he would swoop in at the end and try to overtake, get that 1st place spot. And it worked surprisingly well for the most part, just because he was focusing on being consistent and not on taking any risks. But recently, he's just been taking that 1st, 2nd place spot and holding on to it. And I got to say, very, very improved. Now we're in the back of the pack with Reales, who is currently sitting at 8th, but looking to overtake. Coming around the outside, and he passes Diego Villarreal. Will he be able to maintain it? Very, very close swap there. I think Villarreal might be looking for it again. You can see he's trying to shark either side of the car. Is there enough room there? Once again, haven't seen our little happy mini-map pop up, so I'm not sure exactly which turn they're at here. Currently, my full-time job is putting one word after another, so desperately trying to keep on top of that. On board now with Jackson Resenge, the guy in 2nd place. A little bit all on his own as far as his distance from Victor Miranda, your race leader, about 2 seconds up. Oh my God. But Resenge does have a little bit of competition. Zamperlini on his heels, 0.1 seconds behind. You can see wiggling side to side, trying to get around, and here he goes. He's on the outside of the curve, so won't be able to make that happen there, but swinging to the inside, trying to keep it tight. He's coming around the inside. Is he going to be able to do it? I think he actually did have the angle, but unable to pull through means Zamperlini falls back 0.3 behind. So, man, I really thought that was it. Unable to make that happen. Means that the racing line stays pretty close. So we've got 2, 3, 4, and then in the back you can see Nico Godoy and Diego Villarreal battling it out. There in the back, although Reales spun out. Where's Reales go? Okay, he's back. It looked like he was dropping and grayed out. Then all of a sudden he pops back up in 7th. Try to keep an eye not only... Looked like there was a little bit of a shove there. Zamperlini trying to shove his way through. Watch him do a pit maneuver here. Whoa, tapped him. Coming around. Push to the outside in the gravel. Oh, there it is. There we go. Popping off the bumpers, spinning him out, and he had the racing line. I don't think I saw him move. Zamperlini holding on, an unfortunate move that will send Jackson Resenge way out there. Oh, another spin out, Resenge. Oh, no. Yeah, okay, Resenge. He was trying to keep it together. But there's not a whole lot of car left on that car, if you know what I mean. Trying to limp along in the back. I think it's time to head to the pits, my man. My car is a little the worse for wear. Me waking up on Sunday morning to come into work, for sure. And Resenge will head out to the pit lane. That's what happens. Come with the king. Best not miss. Zamperlini holds on to 3rd place in dominant fashion. Although with all that battling, you think, oh wow, I maintained control of that 3rd place spot. Wow, yeah, but at what cost, right? That Victor Miranda now 6 seconds up on Zamperlini and 6.5 even. Calavi now the most dangerous man alive on Brands Hatch circuit, sitting in 5th place. But coming up on Josh Pruian, 3/10 back, and you can see he's chilling for now in the zone. Wonder what his go-to racing playlist is. Whoa! Saw the inside curve coming, couldn't cut in time. The Michelin M&M's livery. I see the branding synergy there. Whoa! A little bit close there. Squeegeeing off the camera lens, if you will, trying to find a way around. Oh my God, we are really up close and personal with the M&M's livery of Calavi. Josh Pruian, focused, dedicated. 0.2 back of Calavi as he does get that overtake happening. Oh my God, Reales, Pruian, Calavi. Pruian now looking to take that back, but I think he got a little blindsided. He was trying to maintain his line, and Calavi spinning around. Now 5/10 ahead. Huge slingshot there. Calavi in 4th. Racing line pretty spread out at this point, so I think obviously 7 out of 10 laps through means that it's time to just try to be consistent, try to race your race and not really worry about where everybody else is. Although I will say that for Josh Pruian, maybe he has perhaps the most difficult place in the race. He's sitting at 5th, which means that not only did he get passed by Calavi, he now has to worry about everyone else who's on the come up, right? Reales 4/10 back, absolutely thinking about it. While he can't super rest yet, he does have to maintain some good times. Josh Pruian did have some okay times during qualifiers, but didn't hold up in the end. So absolutely something to watch, especially with Reales so close behind him. Going around the Dingle Dell, up into another one of Brands Hatch's iconic climbs, up through Sheen's Corner. Clearways Clark curve coming through into the finish line. A spin out! Oh no! the tragedy. There is now Josh Perwian drops 2.5 seconds back, struggling to get that pedal to the metal again. A disaster. Reales overtaking him as only Reales can, and that is going to be one less Australian in the top 4. Unless that's the flag of New Zealand, in which case I'm in trouble. Now with Nico Godoy, he is very close to Laui Santi, but unfortunately does not seem to be able to have the speed to build up for the overtake. And this is the weird thing about Godoy. We didn't get a replay of it. This guy was in pole position and then now in ninth. So something happened there, okay? And it wasn't just a gradual falling down the standings. Maybe I missed it. Because my eyesight just isn't what it used to, guys. It's the glaucoma. But he does have a chance to improve his standings. He just has to, get up there a little bit. 0.6. Okay, never mind. It was much closer there for a second, guys. I promise. For now, like I said, just stay consistent. Keep your racing line and make sure to, not try anything too risky just now. We've seen quite a few risky moments, and here's a look at one of them, okay? Replay coming up, and I believe this is Jackson Resenge. Yeah, that's what happens when you try too hard to get around the outside. Sends him way wide. When he rejoins, Resenge gets spun straight out. Tries to keep it together, but yeah, that car is destroyed. Destruido, if you will. Not able to keep up with anybody else. His car is toasted. Heads on back to pit lane, and that is it for his race. He'll still get out there and try to finish after getting patched back up, but as we rejoin our racers, you can see he's still way back there in the standings. Pit lane. Unfortunate. So, Nico Godoy also falling down a spot, and that means that it is in ninth for him. Zamperlini struggling just a little bit. Reales, Zamperlini, Calavi, your, I guess, middle of the pack, if you will. Victor Miranda way up there, 4.5 seconds ahead of Caio Gaspar. This guy is +6. Gaspar +8. So absolute monsters, even with our reverse grid. Funny to see how things balance themselves out. One notable exception being Jackson Resenge, who had a little bit of a rough spot there, as we saw in that replay. Going through clearways, the Clark curve ahead, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, actually, no. I gotta rotate. Okay, now coming in through the Clark curve. There it is. On board with Zamperlini. In fourth, but dangerously close to Calavi. This could be an opportunity as we hit the white flag. It's out, and that means we have one final trip around Brands Hatch Circuit. Zamperlini knows he has about 2 kilometers to make this happen. Can he get it done? 3/10 back. Calavi driving defensively. M&M's taunting Fabio Zamperlini. He's hungry. He hasn't eaten all day. He sees the M&M's. He wants it. He looks in his rearview mirror. Nothing behind him but his wife. Calavi not able to keep Zamperlini at bay. The speed, the pedal to the metal. Seeing if he can get around the outside. Here he goes. He's trying to hit it around the outside. Zamperlini, 0.04 of a second. 3, 2, 1. And has he done it? No. Too far to the outside, but he's still coming. Here he goes. He's on neck and neck. The straightaway it ends. He goes too wide, and out of there he is. Comes back in. He's going to pin him again. No. Tail is old as time. So close, and yet unable to get it through. Here we go again. He swings to the outside, trying to get a wide or an early apex through the corner. I'll ask for my grade on racing terms after the show. But we're coming through. It's a first place finish for Victor Miranda. The checkered flag is out. Kyle Gaspar is coming in through in a few seconds back, but for Zamperlini and Calavi, he's got to do it. Oh, he's flashing him. Zigging and zagging. Pedal to the metal around the outside. Is this it? One final card. He's been into the wall. No, Calavi. His people need him. He's heading back out there, and that's going to be Calavi with somehow a third place finish. Zamperlini 2 seconds or 2/10 back, unable to come through in time. Wow. The most electrifying fit. Nah, I mean, it's definitely up there for sure. I absolutely thought Zamperlini had him there, but as soon as he crossed the finish line, man, if that record happened a tenth of a second sooner, could have seen the things get away from him. But wow, really exciting way to see that race finish. The checkered flags come through for all except it Resenge, who's taking a sweet time coming back around. And going for a quick refresh. And that is going to do it for our race portion of our first race. Brands Hatch Circuit has been an amazing home for AMX racing this season. We've seen it, I think about 7 times. I'll have to go back and check, but we've seen this quite a bit. And it never fails to deliver an amazing race like today's. Victor Miranda, Kyle Gaspar, by far the most dominant, sitting in, first and second. Gaston Calavi barely hangs on to that podium, 2/10 back of Fabio Zamperlini, finishes in 4th. Marcelo Reales, Josh Perwin, Diego Villarreal, Lauri Santi, Nico Godoy. And the ever unlucky Jackson Resenge finishes in last after a little bit of a wreck there. Dust up, whatever you want to call it. A kettle of fish. I think that's what I'm supposed to call it, right? Congratulations to our racers. Of course, we do combine the prize pools. We're giving you money for the practice session, giving you money for the actual race, and that means that twice the opportunity to come through with a win. That's going to do it for our first race running Clio Cup cars on Brands Hatch Circuit. Coming up next, our really final race of AMX Global Beta Season 2. We're racing Hyundai Velosters and Elantra TCRs out there on Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. We've got Spa coming up next, guys. Do not want to miss it. Stick around. We'll be right back. Final race, AMX Season 2.
Safeguard your eyes smartly and easily with an eye care monitor and eye care U software. Working on a paper? Turn on low blue light mode. Is the sun too bright? Let brightness intelligence do its work. Now better. Writing code gets your eyes tired? Try coding mode. Forget the time. Light reminder lets you know. Totally immersed in the movie? Minimize software won't distract you. Break reminder and force break help manage your screen time. When it's almost time, a countdown starts. Force break activates to rest your eyes. Eye care you. Safeguard your eyes. Safeguard your eyes smartly and easily with an eye care monitor and eye care U software. Working on a paper? Turn on low blue light mode. Is the sun too bright? Let brightness intelligence do its work. Now better. Writing code gets your eyes tired? Try coding mode. Forget the time. Light reminder lets you know. Totally immersed in the movie? Minimize software won't distract you. Break reminder and force break help manage your screen time. When it's almost time, a countdown starts. Force break activates to rest your eyes. Eye care you. Safeguard your eyes. Safeguard your eyes smartly and easily with an eye care monitor and eye care U software. Working on a paper? Turn on low blue light mode. Is the sun too bright? Let brightness intelligence do its work. Now better. Writing code gets your eyes tired? Try coding mode. Forget the time. Light reminder lets you know. Totally immersed in the movie? Minimize software won't distract you. Break reminder and force break help manage your screen time. When it's almost time, a countdown starts. Force break activates to rest your eyes. Eye care you. Safeguard your eyes. Safeguard your eyes smartly and easily with an eye care monitor and eye care U software. Working on a paper? Turn on low blue light mode. Is the sun too bright? Let brightness intelligence do its work. Now better. Writing code gets your eyes tired? Try coding mode. Forget the time. Light reminder lets you know. Totally immersed in the movie? Minimize software won't distract you. Break reminder and force break help manage your screen time. When it's almost time, a countdown starts. Force break activates to rest your eyes. Eye care you. Safeguard your eyes. Safeguard your eyes smartly and easily with an eye care monitor and eye care U software. Working on a paper? Turn on low blue light mode. Is the sun too bright? Let brightness intelligence do its work.
AMX Global Beta Season 2, whatever you want to call it. It's time for one last race to end them all. I couldn't be more excited, and I also couldn't be more excited to be joined by my co-caster, Weihan. How you doing?
Reed, I'm so excited for the final race. I'm so sorry I overslept again.
Could you perhaps raise your hands above your head? Woo! Yeah,
that's
there
right.
We go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what better way to end the season than at Spa, the place that started it all?
Well, so what's interesting is, my racing experience before the season is somewhat limited, and so I come in at first race of the season, Spa-Francorchamps. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's like a racetrack, right? And then we go around, and I'm like, oh, damn, that's like pretty good. And then I raced on some other tracks, and I was like, I mean, they're like, okay, but in truth, this is an amazing track, and what a way to end the season. Like you said, the way it started, we've had a lot of very iconic races on here, and in truth, obviously, the Spas, in whatever form it has been iterated in, has always been one of the most iconic tracks out there. An incredible trip through the Belgian countryside, and while we won't see any rain today, you go there in person, 50% of the time, you're going to see a few droplets hitting you. The humidity, 35% for me, high for Weihan, a brisk and sunshiny day. And it is a little bit sunshiny out there, exactly. 26 degrees centigrade. But of course, the pavement can be up to double that, so I got to keep an eye. It might be a little sticky on the tires. But here's a look at our prize pools. These are the exact same prize pools we had yesterday, the day before, but not too many days before because there are a few recent changes. What we've done is we've made AMX 0 and AMX 5 even more impactful. 142 for AMX 0, which is our free race. AMX 5 costs $5 to enter, and the total prize pool is $437. Oh my! If you place 16th or higher, you get your money back. And there's also a prize for the fastest lap. So that's what we're doing every single day, as long as those days are Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday, and Sunday. And here's a look at how we pay out our placements. We're giving away this much money for every single place, for every single race, for qualifying and for the race. For AMX 5, that's $25 for first and a $5 fastest lap total. Come away with $30. But wait, we're giving away that prize money for both at the qualifier and the race. So that would be a total of $55 on the line if you're able to place first in both the race and the qualifier and get the fastest lap. So a lot of money on the line. And like I said, if you're putting $5 in and you place higher than 16th, you're winning money. So yeah, you get out here and race. And many of our racers have. And for those racers, we are extending faster and easier payouts, better than ever before. Anytime your winnings are over $100, pay you out once a month. We're sending that money your way. And if there's any money left over, then it'll stay in your account until the next time you reach over $100, pay you out, and the opportunity repeats itself. Also, one of our ways of leveling up the production this season has been driver cameras, and that means that whenever you come to race, we want you to show your face. Head into our AMX Zoom call, which you can find by entering our Discord server, and turn your camera on. We'll give you +1 point, +$1. As you can see on your screen right now, we have several of our top racers, not only here just because they look so good, but because they're pretty good at racing too. So get your camera on, come out here, and come and join us for a day like today on Circuit des Spa-Francorchamps. Hit me up with the deets, Weihan. Why is this track so good?
Well, again, like we've covered this track a couple of times in the past. There's no better place to start or end the season than at Spa. It's pretty much one of the most iconic circuits in existence. Of course, it was first done back in the 1920s and 1930s. That's where that's the home of the Belgian Grand Prix, and over the years it's seen many intense racing action, and it's been a site of a lot of the most iconic of races. So track length obviously 6.93 kilometers, just shy of 7 kilometers. A very hot temperature indeed of 49 degrees Celsius. You've also got a bit of elevation indeed in some ways, 440 meters above sea level. And what makes this track so unique is that it's going to be very hard on the tires for the drivers. So that's going to be one of the key challenges that the drivers will have to look out for as they take on this iconic track in Belgium.
Excellent job, Weihan. What are we racing today?
Yes, we're racing what I think is AMX's favorite car on the iRacing roster, the Hyundai TCR cars. So there's the Elantra and the Veloster TCR machines that the drivers are going to kind of make use of as they take on this track. So TCR at Spa is also a popular car track combination on iRacing as well. You're taking front-wheel drive cars along a track that's got a lot of winding and maybe a couple of technical corners, so that's going to be really exciting indeed. So of course these TCR machines came to existence just a couple of years ago, and already it's proven to be an exceptionally popular formula of racing in countries where motor racing exists, and these Hyundai variants of the TCRs, they bring so much excitement.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, this is just like a classic race car. Also, if you're looking to get out there, pick a race car to really make your own, TCRs are a great option. Very, very flexible. So, exciting, iconic way to close out our season with these Hyundai TCRs. Of course, we've seen these cars quite a bit today. So, or not today, but this season. So, always cool to see more opportunities for such a cool car. For TCRs, they are BOP, but we're only running the Hyundai variants, so it's not like there's going to be a very big difference between the cars, but we are probably going to see some of the very similar liveries out there. So try to keep track, keep up, and keep with us through our final race of the season. Overhead on Spas, we're redrawing our track. I'm not sure how much ray tracing is going on out there, but you get the idea. This is what it looks like. A little bit windy with some of the most iconic corners in all of racing, and we continue to share 10 of our best AMX Season 2 drivers with you out there. Marcelo Reales, Flavie Zamperlini, Miranda, Gaspar Rezenjig, Erwin, Villarreal, Santi, and Godoy. Coming out of practice with these times, and actually really impressive. Marcelo Reales, very polarizing driver. Sometimes he's hot, sometimes he's not. And there he is, all the way up at the top.
Yeah, so we're into practice now. We're leaving practice session, and I think we've already stepped into a qualifying session. Already, all the cars have kind of come out at once, so that's very much trademark of what you're going to have when you have an open qualifying session. So, as usual, drivers with plenty of amazing paint schemes. One driver with the original livery, and another driver, for those eagle-eyed viewers, with the Korean Air paint scheme. Which you can kind of see somewhere behind the scene there. Yeah, amazing stuff. Drivers are, with paint schemes here at AMX, drivers are absolutely creative, and it's always good when you kind of see drivers with all kinds of paint schemes. So the lap times to kind of expect for these drivers here at Spa, I can't seem to see what lap times drivers have set, but obviously you're gonna get lap times beyond 2 minutes because this is such a long place, and with these TCR machines you will have quite varying lap times in some ways. So drivers making their way down the second sector of the racetrack, this is kind of where you go to, you're at the base of the hill, and one of the newer parts of Spa in some ways, taking on the S's before coming onto Stavlo and going on the rundown, the flat out section here, which is the third sector. And I think very soon we will see drivers taking on their first time lap.
Yeah, was like currently sitting at maybe 2:30 for lap times. So let's see what our drivers are setting out there. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly which layout. Let's see. Yeah. With the new pit lane and exchange, TCRs are setting. 2CR touring cars are about 2:30. Santiago Uricia sitting at 2:30.8 out there in real life. Let's see what our drivers can do in iRacing, because sometimes things are a little bit different. There's that Korean Air livery, spectacular job there. Golavi, he's got like every single Korean sponsor possible on this livery. I love it. You need to mandate this. We've got Hyundai Oil Bank, Hanguk Tire, Hyundai, Korean Air, IBK. I couldn't read exactly the Hangul what it says on the license plate. Industria. Oh shoot! This is too good. I love this livery. Okay, patriotism there from our Brazilian driver Gaston Presta Colavi.
Well, I think read that. What's left is for you to cast in Korean. Nah, just kidding.
I'm going to hit you with an anieo. That is the opposite. It is not what's happening today. Ande for sure. A lot of love out there, not only for our Korean livery, but also there's I mean, all of these cars are, of course, Hyundai, a Korean car manufacturer. So one of the reasons that we're showcasing these cars out there. This is our gamer car. It's got the Africa TV logo, and also I think the Logitech sponsor there on the bottom as well. So many iconic cars to watch. There is an iconic guy to watch, Fabio Zamperlini. Unable to claim the podium in our first race. A little unfortunately, he was really close. He's like tenths of seconds away. They're crossing the finish line against Galavi in our previous race. Now he's got a chance to do it all over again. And TCRs and Spa, not only an iconic combination, but also one that our racers are going to be very familiar with. And so that'll make it a little bit easier for them to really express themselves, really show off what they had to show here in this race. And I think it's just a great way to close out our season, Rehan.
Yep, so now we're riding on board with Clio Gaspar, who, well, actually none of the drivers have set down qualifying lap times yet, so I think he's going to be one of the couple of drivers who will cross the line. No, he's going to be one of the middle drivers who will cross the line, I think, before us. Before maybe two other cars. So as it comes around the bus stop chicane, one of the trickier corners here at Spa, in fact, one of the slowest corners here at Spa, the other slow one being that corner in front of La Source. He will come across, Clio Gaspar will come across the line with provisional pole of a 2:36.412. So a handful of other drivers will also likewise make their way around behind him. So we do see the lap times falling within the neighborhood of 2:36 and 2:37. So it's a good indication of where exactly Clio Gaspar sits. He's taken provisional second, and that puts him in a good position to take on the qualifying, the grid in some ways. So based on lap times, it does seem that drivers will only have like three green flag run, 3 laps with a green flag. So not too many opportunities for drivers to set down their fastest lap times. And this is Victor Miranda, who will also come around the line.
Yeah, Victor Miranda is on track for a very good time around here. Let's see what he's able to set. Is it 2:36, 2:37, 8? Okay, never mind. That's not going to be it. But yeah, Victor Miranda, he's going to get on the board. Oh, actually, no. I guess it's not going to count. I think he might have off-tracked at some point. So you can see on his face a little bit of exasperation. He's like, come on, man. That's not going to count. I love the face. Yeah, he's like, really? Okay. All right, well, time to do it over again, and what a way to do it, coming through the iconic All Rouge spiraling up. You can see the only thing you can see is sky. You just really have to trust that the rest of the track is still there. And he's going to have to take a few more of his limited opportunities around this track. When it takes 2.5 minutes to get around, you only get a few shots at that in 15 minutes. Kyle Gaspar on board with this guy who set a very, very fast time. That is a 2:36.401. I can do math. Very, very fast time around Spa, but still some room for improvement if we're expecting something around the 2:30 mark. I'll see if these guys can improve on their times, not only in qualifiers, but also once the actual race begins. Still, 4 drivers have yet to set a time, and we're over halfway through.
Yeah, we sure are. So I don't know if the other drivers are doing the out laps or if they're just sitting in the pits, or maybe they want to do the more fun game of overtaking during the race itself. But yeah, I think the rest of the drivers are probably set behind or something. And yep, drivers going to make their way around the start finish line again. Kyle Gaspar, your new pole sitter. Kulavi gets pushed down to second, and this is Zampolini. Oh, new pole sitter, Zampolini 2:35.932. So that puts him up in pole, and the rest of the drivers don't unseat the pole sitter. So, yeah, Zampolini, good run there indeed.
Yeah, that's crazy. 2:35. Okay, we are really getting down there, shaving seconds off. And obviously, you can see it's a very comparable race times. Hundredths separate Zampolini from the top 4, so absolutely anything can change. 225 kilometers per hour. That's like 150 miles an hour. Hold on, I'm going to do some math here, Weihan. Actually, that should be your job.
Around there.
Yeah, 225 km.
Bro, what's miles per hour now? Just kidding.
In MP. Oh, nice try. Yeah, it's 139. Okay, so 140. I was pretty close. Yeah, 140 miles an hour. 225. That is still quite fast, especially if you're just used to commuting to work. This is a little faster than that.
Yep, up the hill of Eau Rouge and Radion.
Yeah. Now keep going, Weihan. Confidence. Key.
Gosh, I need to work on my morning broadcast. Yeah, that's Josh Pogan, who's he's yet to set down a qualifying lap time, and yeah, I think Josh is having a good time as well. Look at how absolutely focused Josh is. Of course, his lap time to beat is also everyone's lap time to beat is a 2:35.932, and we'll see if Josh is able to kind of match up with that lap time. So around campus, the S's here before coming to Stavlo in probably 10 seconds time. Yeah, so Josh is, well, he's provisionally 7th based on the timing tower, but I think he definitely does one provisional pole as well. All drivers do here indeed.
Yeah, I always wonder what people think the mystery of racing is, right? Like you're trying to go the fastest. So this is I think I've talked about this once before, is that sometimes commentators will say that a driver is like, you can really tell he's like hungry for the win. Like, what? Okay.
Who is
You're
it?
trying to
Who
say you want, yeah, exactly. It's like, well, what are we trying to do here? So I mean, yeah, anyway, all of our drivers trying to do their best, trying to race their cars the fastest. Resenge on the board, and Kalhavi now overtaking the lead. Time of 2:35.8. Holy cow, really getting down there. All right, so Zampolini now in second, back at 10th. Kyle Gaspar back another one, 700s back. And still, we have Victor Miranda and Nico Godoy, two very polar opposites of drivers, have yet to set a time. Miranda not even trying. He's out there in the pits. See if he comes back and tries to get out there and set a time, but currently only seeing Gaston Calave, Jackson Resende, Kyle Gaspar. They're still out there looking for a trip around Spa that will count. Nico Godoy continuing to struggle. And honestly, I mean, that's what we should mention, is that, like, I mean, Spa-Francorchamps, very, very difficult track. So it's not like this is something that you just, I forget. There's a term for in rock climbing. There's a term when you on-site. So if you're doing rock climbing and you on-site something, that means that you have never climbed this mountain before, and you see it for the first time, and you go all the way up the top. And so there's a time for on-siting something. When you on-site a racetrack, that means you've never raced there before. You come out and you bust it. You just like completely destroy the track, and you're so good. And this is not true for Spa-Francorchamps, and it's true probably not for very many tracks, because it does take a lot of practice to get to know the subtle nuances of tracks like Spa.
Yeah, as a place with plenty of nuances. Of course, what it doesn't have corners that are right on camber. Many of the corners are off camber, so in some ways you have to be careful with the way you kind of send your car around the corner. But great stuff still. This is Nico Godoy with the iconic. I think I dig this paint scheme quite a lot. The Punisher paint scheme. It makes this TCR car seem as though it's kind of come from like 10-20 years ago, but well, it's actually come out 2 years ago. So that's that. Nico Godoy has yet to set a qualifying lap time, but he will do so in the next 10 to 15 seconds as he comes around the bus stop chicane. And well, let's see what lap time he's able to set down as he comes around the line. That he will do so in a couple of moments. We will keep an eye out for that as someone else blows his engine. Godoy sets down at 2:38, 2:24, puts him up in provisional 8th position, and I don't know, a couple of other drivers who are so done with qualifying and can't wait for the race. They've blown their engines, and that's going to be them retiring from the qualifying session. Victor Miranda, the only driver who's yet to set down a qualifying lap time. I'm not sure if he will have a shot at that, but he is probably going to, well, have a good time out during the race later on. Oh!
Whoa!
Yeah.
Nico Godoy, he's like, all right, I'm on the board. Bet, it's out. And he's going to have to head back to the pits post-haste. Because he is about 40 seconds away from this race starting. So he's got to get back there, get a little bit of a repair. And Victor Miranda, no time set. So the way that the prize money works is that you are required to set a time. And that means that if you don't set a time, we can't give you, payment for the race. But he did try, and that's what matters. So like, you do have to get out there and attempt it. You can't just sit in the pit lane. Thankfully, not what Victor Miranda did, but unfortunately unable to set a lap. I mean, that does mean that he will get payment for the qualifiers, but also that due to reverse gridding, that's going to put him in first place on the start for the race. So that's not bad.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So Zamperini, the Punisher, goes... Oh no, that's not the Punisher. The Punisher is Nico Godoy. What am I thinking? Gosh. Fabio Zamperini starts from pole with 2:35.772. Brilliant. Gaston Kulhavi starts from second. Kyle Gaspar and Marcelo Riel is from the second row in third and fourth. Jackson Rizzendi and Josh Pobin from the third row in fifth and sixth. Diego Villarreal from seventh. Nico Godoy in eighth. Laui Santi in ninth, and Victor Miranda, well, one of the fastest drivers as well. He starts from 10. And he rounds off your starting grid.
Well, keep in mind, this is not the starting grid. This is the qualifier results. And then we flip this because we're doing reverse grid. So here's your starting grid with Victor Miranda in first, Laui Santi second, Nico Godoy in third, fourth, fifth. You can see it all down there because this is reverse grid placement. So whatever the placements are from qualifiers, we flip it down, turn it upside, flip it around, turn it upside down, and that's what it looks like with now Victor Miranda starting from first, and we're off. The cold, hard start here on the Spa-Francorchamps, which unfortunately is not in either one of those. One of our drivers tried to drive backwards for the start. I think Reales might have hit the reverse button. Not sure exactly how that happens, but for now we're heading through some very, very iconic yet difficult, challenging first corners. Can all of our drivers keep it moving forward?
So they go too wide up Rouge and Radion. That's not something you see every day, but all the drivers keep it very well indeed up that tricky corner. And they're going 3 wide. That seems to be some of the other drivers around the mid-pack who's going for position. This is Cole Harvey versus Santi, and of course a battle for the race lead up there, Miranda and Villarreal. So Santi in 5th, who's doing a good job. Who's doing a good job being sandwiched by a couple of other drivers. He's coming under a bit of pressure by Vicente. But of course, this is kind of where the battle really is heating up. The battle for 3rd bounced this battle right in front, but that seems to be Santi who's trying to defend his 5th position from Vicente. Oh, so close indeed.
Yeah, off to the side, you almost saw a green livery car spin out as I think it was Kyle Gaspar came in on him, pushed him off the track a little bit, but he came back on. And now we're still racing. Oh my God, that was so close. I'm always impressed when you can have contact and the drivers are so good that they just react immediately and keep on racing. All intents and purposes, Victor Miranda is still maintaining that pole. Diego Villarreal climbs 2. To get in 2nd place, Calavi up 6. Placements zooming past on the NOS into 3rd. Godoy now down to 4th, but still holding strong. Some really interesting things happening in this first pack. You can see from all the way from 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. A very, very large pack to watch here on board now with Jackson Resenge. I think it's actually Resenge last time. Ooh, way wide. Lavi Santi taking the long trip around, but still able to speed his way into 7th. Zamperlini, though, 10ths off. Zamperlini climbing. See if he's able to get that overtake happen. He is going for it, and he makes it. Zamperlini coming around and able to overtake Lawi Santi sizably in the lead now. Wow, Zamperlini still 2 seconds to go before he can contest Kyle Gaspar, who is currently motoring, trying to get that climb on as we switch over to Kyo's cam. On our way through the 2nd lap out of 6 here at Spa-Francorchamps.
Well, the one thing that drivers are definitely taking advantage of here at Spa are the runoffs, the tarmac runoffs. So, I don't know, man. It's something that I try not to do because you will cop a lot of 1Xs and that kind of isn't good for your safety rating. But in a league race, there's no safety rating, so I can understand why drivers will just use the off tracks quite liberally. But still, we're riding with Nico Godoy as he makes his way up the hill. We're riding behind the Punisher now. Resende trying to plot for an overtaking opportunity as they thunder down the Camel Straight. With these TCR cars, you don't have too high of a top speed. Well, you're kind of they're just only pushing 220s. No higher than that in any way. But Resende continues to sit behind Godoy as they make their way around Lacombe and down into Brussels. This slight bit of a downhill before you have to brake very early here before making your way around this Brussels right-hander. Great run indeed before coming towards Speaker's Corner, turn 11 here, this left-hander. And this is going to be Resende who's going to think of an overtaking move. Well, he was about to think of an overtaking move there. And I think in the next couple of moments he might be able to think of something. Going very close indeed. This is them around Puhon. Will they come into contact? Is it going to be bumper to bumper contact, or will Resende find a window of opportunity to overtake over the next couple of corners onto the S's? This is where, if you can stick through these corners closely with the driver in front of you, you might have a shot at overtaking later on around Blanchimont. So making their way around the S's one by one before coming onto Stavlo, this right-hander. We're now with Gaspar indeed, who with this driver we can see quite a lot of we can kind of get a good perspective of this overtaking move. So Godoy still holds on to 4th position. Resende is going to have a hard time to try to think of an overtaking move, but Gaspar is the other driver who kind of wants a slice of this pie as well here at the mid-pack.
Yeah, very true. On board, Kyle Gaspar still looking. He's, I think, the closest out of anybody, but whoa, does not have as good an angle there. And you see Jackson Resenge taking the best, or a much better spot around that corner. Now, we're on board with Nico Godoy. Now, Nico Godoy, always a wild card. You never know where this guy is going to place, but he's done such a good job. 3 laps through, halfway, and he is sitting in 5th, now 6th, now potentially 7th as he falls back a little bit. Zamperlini's still working on closing that gap, and he is little by little. So keep an eye on Zamperlini 7th now. Come back to revisit him, see where he's at in a couple of laps. For Nico Godoy, 4th, one of his best placements ever, and he's holding on really impressively against a very, very strong roster of drivers in front and behind him. Nico Godoy there, you can see the face of focus, the pinnacle of passion, the example of excitement, and other alliterative descriptors. My man holding it down at 4th.
The definition of commitment.
Like the cardinal
Godoy defends
commitment.
4th position, yeah.
Excellent job there. Godoy, Resenje wants to take it away from him and make it a whole lot less exciting for me to continue my alliteration. There's a consonant. I can't remember. So he's looking for it. Look at how wide our track. They're using every single inch of it. Whoa, a little bit close there. Trying for the overtake. He's coming around the outside, but he's on the outside of the curve, so probably now not the moment. Does he have a slot to slot into? He does just barely. Need to do some measurement, figure out exactly how many inches he had on both sides, or centimeters, or whatever you guys use. Look at how close this is. Oh my God, we are really just tying these cars bumper to bumper. Very, very close, keeping it that way as we head back through Les Fagnes into Campus and then Stavelot.
So viewers mentioning that we have a Godoy train, we do have a Punisher train at this point, a 4-way battle for 2nd place. Everyone wants this, but only one driver can have a 2nd place. So, right, is this the, well, it seems like Resende, no, it's not for 2nd, it's for 4th position. What am I saying? Yeah, so Resende and Gaspar going too wide down this tricky section here at Blanchimont. All of them going out wide indeed. And yeah, another overtaking attempt by what appears to be Zamperlini and Resende.
Oh my God!
Bus stop chicane. They don't touch. They make it out unscathed. And well, Godoy continues to lead this field, but Resende makes it up. Zamperlini up, and Caio Gaspar, well, down in 7th. So yeah, great job by these drivers to take on that final sector and kind of reshuffle their position.
Damn, now 4th lap out of 6, coming through and starting all over again at La Source. Into Eau Rouge, this is the iconic moment. Such a huge climb. Nothing but sky ahead of you. And here we go. Wow, look at that curve. Oh my God, it's so sick. What an angle. Holy cow, it's such a close race to boot. Nico Godoy leads our pack of Resenje. Zamperlini able to get a little bit of a nose on Resenje to claim that 5th spot for now, only momentarily. And it looks like he's going to lose it coming into the corner, but neck and neck. Breakneck pace, bumper to bumper, some bumping going on, and now that's going to send Resenje back to battle Caio Gaspar. As wow, Nico Godoy and Zamperlini distancing themselves from that pack. Zamperlini now a 2nd up on or a 2nd behind Godoy, but Resenje trying to close that and take that 5th spot back. So much action here. We're 4 laps in. It's still this close. Such a testament to the talent our racers have developed over the course of AMX Season 2.
Yeah, the fight still exists, but still battle for 4th still continues, and we are past the halfway point of the race, and I think if drivers want to push, this is the time to push. Well, of course, they've been pushing all race long, but they can push even more in many ways. Around the S's here before coming upon Stavelo once again. Yeah, this is one of the places where, yes, the corners do have a bit of banking, but you are going quite hard on the tires because you're taking these corners quite quickly, and you're taking quite a lot of speed through these corners. And I think in a long race, these are the places where you have to go a little slower if you want to kind of conserve your tires. But here in a sprint race, you just kind of go all out, indeed. Miranda, your race leader, we've not seen much of Miranda within this race itself. but he's coming under a lot of pressure from a Korean Air Kohlhavi in second place as they make their way around the bus stop chicane. I would like to see Kohlhavi probably take off and maybe overtake Miranda over over Miranda. That'll be interesting to see. I think it's happened in some races before. Kohlhavi just set the fastest lap time. Yeah, fastest flying lap time, and great job.
No, really impressive. You usually see the guy in first set the fastest lap time, but Kohlhavi, he's motoring. He's closing what was a multi-minute lead to now down to half, less than 0.4 behind Victor Miranda, and even closing even more. I don't know if he has the Korean Air jet engines on the back of his car, but he is really pumping it up, and now down to 0.2. I'm not sure if Victor Miranda sustains like some damage or what's going on there, but looking for a way around the outside comes exactly the same angle on this curve, keeping it so close. Kohlhavi keeping this race on our penultimate lap. That was our word of the day from our previous race session. Gotta keep it going. This is our final race of season 2, and what an epic one it is shaping up to be. Middle of the pack, still so close, but action even still at the front. You can look, trying to get around too wide on the corner, and a little bit of a change up there. We've got Resenji.
Someone's got off.
Oh, there goes a big one right into the wall. No collateral damage, but an absolutely destroyed car. Zamperlini is out of there. Wow, what a disappointing experience. Something happened to Josh Perwin and Reales there. We didn't see what happened there, but wow, that is not the way you want to race your race. Zamperlini continues to drop back as he is limping back to the pits. What a tragedy.
Well, I didn't see that coming. I think nobody saw that coming. With the new damage model, it means that the car has kind of lost its bumper, its hood, and the spoiler. And I think it's going to be like it's just he's lost quite a lot of car parts, and he's going to have to go through quite a lot of repairs. But the battle ensues for the race lead. This is that's Miranda at the bottom left of the screen defending his race lead from Gaston Kohlhavi. Intense job indeed, but Kohlhavi tries to find a window of opportunity along the outside of the bus stop chicane. It goes very close indeed as they go back single file for the bus stop chicane. Before then, perhaps Kohlhavi might think of something as he exits the bus stop chicane. So it is white flag this time by, which means that we are down to the final lap of the race. Kohlhavi might think of overtaking over. This is the battle between Santi and Resende. So I don't know why Resende is missing a boot.
But it's Reales and Resende, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, now we're back on with Gaspar. Oh, and actually Resende out. What?
He's gone into the pits for repairs.
Okay. Well, he made it around. He's still sitting in 6th, 7th. Now dropping down afterwards. But, oh my God, these guys are so fast. Look at Nico Godoy. This guy's still staying in 4th. Absolutely amazing, defending against Kyle Gaspar. These guys are on opposite ends of our leaderboard, but are right next to each other, neck and neck. And oh, a little bit of a tap there. Victor Miranda getting some love from Kohlhavi back in the back. Gaspar Godoy. Gaspar, a narrow pass, but might just lose it around the corner. Still maintaining the lead and hits the inside on the next one. Nico Godoy, the Punisher, coming up from around the outside. Now on the inside. Can he keep this going? I love it. The dueling back and forth, and this is halfway through our final lap of AMX Global Season 2. Trying to get some teeth in and find a way around, but is not going to find anything just yet. Look at the smile on Victor Miranda's face. He knows he has an intense, insane battle through the back stretch, double gauche up through Rane. It is very, very intense, and I don't think that Victor Miranda is maybe fully respecting how dangerous this can be. Kohlhavi, absolutely a killer. And he wants to find this overtake opportunity. He has less than half of this track. Mere kilometers remain. When is he going to strike? What's the best opportunity here? Surely you have to make it around Stavolo. And I think now is the time. It's time. Both drivers a little bit wide out the turn. And let's see if Kohlhavi can make it happen. The final lap of the race, the final lap of Season 2 is here, Weihan.
Oh yeah, sure is. So just now we did see that Miranda kind of went a bit slidey, but he managed to keep his car on all fours, and Kulavi making good use of the off track to kind of optimize his speed. So this is a battle that's going to go down the wire, down the finals right there. Oh, both of them going door to door contact down into the bus stop chicane. Miranda continues to take the race lead. Will Kulavi think of an overtaking move right at the final segments? No, it's going to be Miranda who will take the final race here at Spa of AMX Global Season 2, Beta Season 2, with Kulavi coming around the start-finish line in second. Villarreal, Gaspar, and Godoy will likely come home in third, fourth, and fifth, with no battles ensuing right at the mid-pack. But we've still got some of the other drivers who's racing. Santi and Realis, both drivers had been battling over the past couple of moments. Realis missing a rear wing, so that means that he has more top speed than everyone else. Santi will come around the start-finish line in 6th position with Realis, who will make it home in 7th. Rizendi and Zampellini, Perwin up in the 8th, and Rizendi, he's also had quite a good show here at the Spa, although he did lose a couple of positions where he started from. Let's follow through with Rizendi, as he is a teammate of Victor Miranda, so let's follow him through as he takes on the final couple of corners here at Spa. So around the bus stop chicane, Rizendi will wrap up this race in 9th position with Perwin, who's just finished it in 8th. And Zampellini, is one of the more illustrious drivers on the grid. Indeed, really like the gold paint scheme. He is quite a far way, quite a fair ways behind, so we'll probably sit along with Zampellini as he takes on the rest of the track here within the 3rd sector. So within the next 25 seconds, he should be able to finish a lap here at Spa. But Reed, I think it's been an exciting race otherwise. A lot of things that we didn't see coming.
Absolutely. No, this is by far one of the most close races that we've seen. Talk about average placements. Nico Godoy finishing in 5th, ahead of guys like Josh Perwin, Rizenje, Zampellini. These are all guys that have taken home wins. Really, really impressive. Unfortunately for Fabio Zampellini, is a very disappointing finish there. However, he does still finish in 10th, and a 10th place finish in AMX 5 is still going to be good enough for... let's see what that is. So if you're ranked 10th in AMX 5, I believe that's like $10. So still doubling his money for a finish in 10th. Absolutely incredible. A huge congratulations to all of our racers, 1st or 10th. You made it through here the entire season of AMX Season 2. Victor Miranda, your 1st place finisher. 2nd place to Gaston Colavi and Diego Villarreal, a guy that went from not even qualifying for many of our races to 3rd place finish for our final race. There you can see our top 3. Absolutely incredible racing here from our drivers. Actually, that's not our top 3. You get the idea. That's where they are. Very exciting race to finish things off. Caio Gaspar, Nico Godoy, Laui Santi, Marcelo Reales, Josh Perwin, Jackson Rizenje, and Fabio Zampellini there to finish things off. 1st through 10th, a field of 10 drivers for our Hyundai TCR race here on Spa-Francorchamps. Very, very impressive performance. Ooh, yeah, that's our final race, guys. If you're wondering what AMX Global is all about, there you go. Amazing tracks, cars, drivers. Can't get much better than that. See you next season, Fabio Zampellini says, and indeed we will. Big fan. Huge round of applause. If you guys want to clap to yourselves in your own house, we're not going to judge you for that. Still an incredible season. Couldn't have asked for much better than that. How about you, Weihan? How do you feel?
Likewise, I think it's been such an exciting season, and not a better end to the season than such an exciting race here at Spa. We're glad to see 10 drivers take out the Spa with these TCR machines. Well, one of the best machines indeed for close racing, and the drivers have certainly delivered an exciting season finale here at day 45 of AMX Racing. So, what a race, Reed.
Well, Weihan, it's been an incredible season, but like all good things, it must come to an end. I want to give a huge shout out to our production team behind the scenes, all of our sponsors. You can see it right there. Automatics, BenQ, Upbit, everybody who's been behind AMX, from the drivers to the racers to the fans, the people who like and favorite our tweet. Everybody out there, this is your moment and ours to share together. Thanks to everybody for being a part of AMX Season 2. We couldn't have done it without any of you. If you want to share your final thoughts on AMX Global Season 2, head on over to our social media. You can find us on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, wherever you want to post a post about AMX, and hashtag AMX Global, or just tweet at us at AMX_global on Twitter or wherever. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being a part of AMX Season 2. We are heading out of here, but don't worry, we'll be back before you know it with even more announcements for upcoming seasons and announcements for AMX Global. Keep it tuned right here to AMX Global on YouTube, Twitch. Announcements coming soon on Twitter and Instagram. Can't wait to show you what we have in store for our upcoming seasons. But before we get there, we've got to end things here. So a big thanks to everybody for watching us today. We hope you have an incredible morning, afternoon, or night wherever you are. We're gone for now, but we'll see you again next season.